Hello, everyone. So, I'm here to share with you an incredible dream my wife was given by God on February 6th of 2026, so not that long ago. And in fact, recently she's been given four dreams back to back each day, February 6, 7, 8, and 9, each morning, early in the morning, just before waking up. She was given an incredible God dream. Now, this is unprecedented in our experience. Ever since 2022, August of 2022, she's been getting dreams and or waking visions from the Lord, but usually only one per month, about that much. And occasionally she'll have a number in close succession, but we have never had more than two in 2 consecutive days until now. And now we've had four given us by God through Astrid. So I'm just so excited about this time that we're living in, what's shaping up. Perhaps you've watched recent videos. You know that I'm watching very, very intensively April 2026 for the rapture. I've been sharing some videos about that. And I believe that this dream is a powerful confirmation of that. Now, I'm going to let you be the judge. I'm basically going to be just showing you what the dream is and showing you a lot of facts about gematria values of terms and or phrases and their corresponding Strong's Concordance references. So we've learned from experience that God often gives us through dreams with key phrases or terms, which when you look their gematria values up and you compare those with the Strong's Concordance values, the associated Strong's Concordance values, you find an interpretation in the Bible of that number. And this has been very key in our interpretation of her dreams and visions. Also, you can look at the date of the dream. That's often significant. Sometimes the number of the dream. I have a list of all of her dreams and exactly what they were. I've recorded it all. And so I know that this dream on February 6th was her 49th dream and or vision overall that she's ever been given. So we look at all that and we say, what does it mean? Well, I'm going to let you be the judge and let's get into it. So here's the dream as Astrid described it to me. I was in a large house with many rooms. Quite noticeably, the floors were wood. It was my home, but I knew it to also be my friend April's house. I was in a bathroom of the house with Devon, a huge bathroom with a wooden floor. The floor was in perfect condition. I even noticed that it was completely tolerant of water. I thought, we are not changing the floor. There were a number of sinks in the bathroom that were old, rusty, and dirty. These needed replacement. I wanted new white sinks. I was also thinking, perhaps we should change the tile in the bathroom. And that was the end of the dream. So let's look at the key phrases and terms. April's large home with many rooms. In simple gematria, this is 352. Strong's Greek 352 is look up. And this word appears most famously in Luke 21:28, where it says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. House, in Hebrew gematria, the Hebrew gematria value equals 353, which means take up or receive up. The Strong's Greek 353. April's large house. In Hebrew gematria, this is 726, and of course, the Greek 726 in Strong's is caught up, appearing in 1 Thessalonians 4:17 and Revelation 12:5. Also, the simple gematria value of April's large house is 186, which is without wavering. Let us hold fast the profession of our faith without wavering, for he is faithful that has promised. Hebrews 10:23. April's house in simple gematria is 143. And just so you know, simple gematria is ordinal gematria. Same thing. The Greek value of 143 is to perceive, to understand. And this is also change the sinks in simple gematria. Change the sinks in Hebrew gematria, however, is 416. And I think 416 is very interesting because April 16 of this year is the biblical Nisan 16 on a calendar where you reckon the month beginning with the full moon, as I do. Change, because the sinks were changed, right? Change in simple gematria is 38, which is purification or consecration. Sync, pure, clean. Sinks, manner of life. April's home in Hebrew gematria equals 353. We've seen this before as house, but this is just one more than April's large home with many rooms, which was 352. Look up. G353 is take up, receive up. Sounds like the rapture to me. And then April's home in simple gematria, 116, of course, reminds us of Nisan 16, because Nisan is the first month. Wooden floor and wood floors has the same simple gematria value of 142, and G142 is also take up, to carry off, to draw up, the rapture. Wood flooring in simple gematria equals 153. Of course, that reminds us of John 21:11, where we find the rapture fish. I'm not going to go into all the detail of that, but many of you know what I'm talking about there. We are not changing the floor. 263 in simple gematria, and G263 is not fading away, and appears in the verse John 21:11, which says, "To an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you." Change the dirty sinks, not the wood floor. Simple gematria 424. The Greek value in Strong's Concordance is to go up. Change the dirty old sinks, not the wood floor, is the same as perhaps we should change the tile in the bathroom. Both in simple gematria, this is 455. In Strong's, this means to open, which is the word used in Revelation 4:1, a door opened in heaven, representing the rapture. Change the bathroom's old dirty sinks, not its wood floor, in simple gematria is 581. And in Strong's, G581 is to be removed from or depart. Replace the sinks, very interesting. In simple gematria, 165, Strong's, 165, Greek, the end of the world, which is also sometimes translated forever and eternal. Replace with new white sinks in simple gematria is 299. Naturally, without spot or faultless. Strong's Concordance, Greek. New white sinks, 179. Endless, indissoluble, not subject to destruction. This word appears in Hebrews 7:16, who is made not after the law of a carnal commandment, but after the power of an endless life, speaking of Melchizedek. April's bathroom sinks changed. So that's kind of what the whole dream is about. And in Hebrew gematria, this equals 888. In English gematria, 1686. And in simple gematria, 281. And I find great significance in all these numbers. Of course, 888 is the Greek gematria value of the Greek word translated Jesus. The Greek 281 in Strong's Concordance is amen, or verily, truly. And then, amazingly, 1686 is 6 times that same number, 281. So it's like 6 amens, and then of course there's another one, so that's a total of 7 amens here after 888. Amazing. Very, very salient. Probably most salient in the dream to Astrid was the sinks. So the sinks, Hebrew gematria, 352, we've seen that before, look up. In English gematria, it's 630, which means to let depart or allow to depart, to set free, to let go. And the sinks in simple gematria is 105, which to me is incredibly significant because of my 6936 vision, which I've spoken of many times. The vision, the waking vision in which God showed me a 69 and then a 36, and that was all. And of course, 69 plus 36 equals 105. And also very salient in this dream was the wood floor. So the floor, Hebrew gematria, 319. That number is very significant to me as well. I've long known that it means the end made known, if you look at both the Hebrew and the Greek value in Strong's Concordance. And then, of course, G594 means reception or admission. And the floor in simple gematria is 99. Of course, the simple gematria value of rapture is 99. So I want to conclude by just emphasizing yet again that with all of this talk of the rapture, in the phrases and terms, their gematria values as interpreted by the Strong's Concordance, the mapping of numbers to biblical words. The dream was received on 2/6, February 6th of 2026. 2/6/26. And it was Astrid's 49th dream and or vision, or her 7 times 7th dream and or vision. And you could easily title this dream April's Large House, which has a gematria value of 726. And all our current high watch dates in April of 26 for the G726, or the catching up, the harpazo, occur just before Israel turns 78. If this is making sense to you, give it a like, give it a share, subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comments. God bless.